Good evening to my UNC family. How are you feeling here this evening? A special good evening to the Honorable Political Leader, Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, to my parliamentary colleagues, especially our Chief Whip and host here tonight, the Honorable David Lee. You know, Viliana, when I heard your introduction, you said he served as the youngest member, so I got confused for a second. I thought you were talking about Wade Mark. I said, couldn't be, you know. Senator Mark, as you know, I have a particular fondness for because all of the training we had in the Senate, anything you see us able to do in the House of Representatives now, we learned at the hand of Senator Mark. And to my Tabaquite family who are here supporting Pointe-a-Pierre in Macaulay, I say thank you for your support, thank you for your constant drive for a better Trinidad and Tobago. I couldn't be more proud to represent the people of Tabaquite when I see what you put forward on a daily basis. So you owe yourselves a round of applause. So ladies and gentlemen, why are we here today? You tune in to our cottage meetings, you've come forward in our crime talks. You are part of a machinery that is geared towards making a better Trinidad and Tobago. You don't just come here because you like to hear us talk, I'm sure that's part of it. But a big driving force is that you know Trinidad and Tobago could be better. When I listen to my colleague, Ms. Vandana Mohit, we sit next to each other in the House of Representatives. And when we have to sit down in that parliament and listen to the nonsense that passes as governance, it pains me. It pains me as a patriot, as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, to see what passes for governance in this country today. And it should pain you too. Because ladies and gentlemen, as Vandana spoke about Shoguana's East and the potential of her community, all of us, those of us who hold seats in the parliament, those of us who are shadowing seats for the United National Congress, we know the true potential of Trinidad and Tobago. The true potential of Trinidad and Tobago is not to line up for hampers. The true potential of Trinidad and Tobago is not to protest for water and beg for roads. The true potential of Trinidad and Tobago can be seen on the world stage. It is a global force. And it is because of the management of the People's National Movement that we are here today. We are in this state today. So let me talk about the state of the country for a few minutes. Those of you who come to our meetings, those of you who traverse anywhere in this country, you know of the infrastructure woes. Those of you who came here from Tabaquite and know you know about the infrastructure woes within our constituency. I have to spend my time, my precious time, writing letters to the Ministry of Works. I tell you to this day, I don't know if Rohan Sinanan could read because he has not responded to a single letter, not one day. So I don't ever want to believe that he is a disrespectful government minister who will not respond to somebody who is elected to serve people in this country. So I will believe that he has difficulty reading, and until he gets a little help, he will respond when he could get a chance. When I tuned in, regrettably, on Thursday to the PNM's meeting, because you know you have to hear what they're saying. You have to hear what they're giving to the public. What are they bringing to you, the hard-working citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? And to my amazement, I see a sitting prime minister, 8 years, 9 years as prime minister of this country, come to tell us that the PNM have plans and policies for this country. So if you have a plan and policy and you're in charge, what are you doing? Why are you still planning if you're in charge? If you have the plan and policy, do it. Why are you telling me, the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, that you know what to do to make the country better? So what are you doing now? Lyman? Because it makes no sense. It makes no sense to come to the population of Trinidad and Tobago and say, I know what to do, I just ain't doing it yet. I mean, when we sit and we listen to what they are coming to tell us, all we have to do is point to the state of our nation, from the roads to protest for water, to the education sector, to the healthcare sector, to the crime situation. And you know what the right answer is. You know what the right thing to do is. Imagine the Prime Minister had some words from my colleague, the member for Maruga Tableland, that the only thing she's known for this time is burning tires. Well, I said to him, the reason my colleague had to burn tires is because 5 years before that, when the PNM held Maruga Tableland and government, they did absolutely nothing for the constituency. And so, for you to come forward now to chastise a member of parliament who is sitting in opposition while your government mama-guide the people of Maruga Tableland 5 years ago and coming to mama-guide them again now, you are truly shameless. Truly shameless. I have, within my own constituency, students who cannot go to school because of the state of the roads. Can you imagine that? That you are unable to attend school in Mamaral, that you cannot attend school in Caratal, the Caratal RC school, because of the state of the roads. You feel we want to protest? You feel we love to stand up in the hot sun to beg for basics in this country? The PNM needs to have some respect for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Have some respect for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And deliver on your job. Do not come 9 years in government with more promises and zero delivery across the board. The Prime Minister took issue with us asking questions about the Prime Minister's conversation and how much it cost, etc. But you know, when Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar was Prime Minister, these national conversations started. The point of the national conversation was to go to the public and say to the public, this is what the government has done to improve your life from 2010 to 2015. That was the point of the national conversation. It isn't to come now and campaign for what you will do, because you are the government. So you took a good product, that is the national conversation, to make it a mama guy product, because the PNM has no track record of delivery to deliver to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. When we look at the education sector, I had to move a motion in Parliament 2 Fridays ago. During that motion, the Minister of Education, who likes to hit my little duck and run, so during the budget debate, she decided to speak after me, because she is my shadow. And then for this debate, she came to speak after me, so you get a chance to respond. I made it very clear to the Minister of Education, all you had to come and tell us was what you have actually done. It's not that hard. Say, this is what I did, and this is how I made the education sector better, this is how I improved. That's it. That's it. You gotta come say that and sit down. This Minister of Education came to tell me that I was sleeping on the job. But you the one who have the job. It's your work. So if the thing falling apart, how I could be sleeping on the job? It could only be you. Imagine as she's standing there, making excuses about the education sector, as she is there, a school in Toko burning down. The few days later, 49 bomb scares, the children out in the hot sun, confusion everywhere. And all I said, it would be simple, it would be critical thinking. It would make the most sense if you allowed and enabled principals to make critical decisions in times of emergencies. You don't need a degree to tell you that. You don't need the PhD to tell you that. You needed common sense. And if you are unable to think on your feet, to enact policies to make the lives of children in this country better, then you do not deserve the job. My poor colleague, Vandana, had to respond to the other Minister of Education, who came to tell us that we brought no substance. But in saying that, she had no speech, nothing to respond to. And when I tell you the PNM bad mind, they will take credit for anything. Imagine the minister in the Ministry of Education came to take credit for my education and tell me I receive a PNM education. I don't know if they give that out in Balize House, because I never went, so I could never have no PNM education. But the point of having an education is to have critical thinking, is to use your brain. It's not to take what people tell you and then just run with it, not to just be silent and say, okay, they say it's this and it's that. So you telling me, you stand up to defend the education sector, and your defense is that I have a P&M education, so that means the sector good. You know how long ago I went to school here? You know, and furthermore, I went to school, the UNC was in government, so you're very wrong about that. Ladies and gentlemen, as I come to a close on my conversation here with you today, you will hear from many speakers. You will hear about the state of the country. You will hear about what is going wrong within the country. But you will also listen, you'll understand that the UNC is a vehicle for change and progress within this country. You will understand that UNC is here, united in a cause to bring hope to a hopeless nation. That the voice of the UNC membership is important. It is required for nation building that you have a strong and able alternative for the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Building this country is UNC business. Every progressive idea that you see that they are taking credit for, if you look back at the genesis, it has been UNC business. When you think about track record of development, when you talk about what this country is able to achieve, it is under UNC programs and UNC development. I am proud to have chosen to be a member of the United National Congress. I am proud to stand up in the parliament as a member of the United National Congress because I know when I stand up, I stand for development. I stand for progress. I stand for hope. And so I say to you, to the people who are here in the room with us tonight, to those of you who are locked on, to those of you who will listen, now is our time to stand up and be counted. If you believe that Trinidad and Tobago could be better, could do better, then that means you believe the UNC should be in office. If you believe that when a student leaves school, that you finish your CSEC and your A-levels, you go on and you do your degree, you shouldn't be in any member of parliament's office begging for a job if they could help you. If you believe that that must change, then you believe in a UNC government. Then you believe that a UNC government is the option. If you know that you are not supposed to be protesting for basics, water should be a given, the road should be a given, then you believe in a UNC government. Then you believe that the UNC should be in government. And there was once a time as a nation that we could happily proclaim God is a Trini. We were so confident in ourselves, in our ability to withstand anything, that we believe God is a Trini. And in 9 years, Keith Rowley and his band of incompetent people has taken us all the way down. So much so that we shame to even raise our head and say God is a Trini. They try to take away the saying now. Can you imagine that? And so, ladies and gentlemen, the United National Congress remains the only vehicle for progress. The United National Congress is the only space that can make and build Trinidad and Tobago, the Trinidad and Tobago that we deserve. And I thank you.